Yeah, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an important issue, but we're a Judiciary Committee, so even though, this issue is, I would say life and death issue, we'll talk about judicial implications, and we'll talk law a little bit. So I want to talk to Professor Goodwin a little bit. What's happened if Casey and Roe are overturned? Can you still have abortion?
If Casey and Roe are overturned, then it means that there will be laws that are triggered throughout the United States, where in some states there will not be access to abortion because it will be criminally punished. And in some other states, there will be access to abortion. And so people who will need those services will have to travel, if they can, to get to those states where they can be able to terminate their pregnancies.
Right. So there is still going to be, states will have to decide, and we'll have a situation. We'll have some more liberal states, some more conservative states, but ultimately the states will be making these decisions at the state level, which is really how we were founded as a country. But the states have making decisions, and the court is going to, make a decisions that are constitutionality decisions. So who do you think should make a final decisions on something where it is your constitutional rights? Which entity at our federal level?
Well, to be clear, there was actually a civil war about fundamental rights in the United States that were not just about some states being able to carry on whatever they wanted to do. That was the very point of the Civil War, where the lives of Black people were actually at stake. And so if you would then repeat your question, because I thought that was important.
So what is decision? We have a constitutional amendments, right? If the states decide to do that, and the way, we can fight wars, but ultimately which power, which branch of our federal government has an ultimate decision to decide what is protected by our Constitution? Which branch?
Well, the Supreme Court is the supreme arbiter
the Supreme
of the
Court.
land,
So do you believe that we have Supreme Court as an authority? Please answer. Do you believe that Supreme Court authority to rule? And I maybe didn't like some other rulings, and I don't look, but do you think that is really the decision of Supreme Court? We're giving them that authority, or do you believe every time we don't like, we should start packing the court? And what do you think it will lead to? Because you don't like decisions, I might not like decisions. So what is going to create to our country with every time that we do not like some decisions, we start mingling this with the Supreme Court? Do you think it's dangerous?
Well, with all due respect so that I can answer your question.
Yes, please.
I would also say that it has been this Congress that has played a very important role in American law. It was this Congress, for example, that ratified the 13th Amendment abolishing slavery. It was this Congress that ratified and drafted the 14th Amendment, which provided citizenship and equal protection under law and substantive due process to people who were then freed from human enslavement. It was this Congress that then struck down Jim Crow laws in the states that basically tethered Black people to second-class citizenship through thousands of laws that denied them significant personhood. It was this Congress through the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the 1965 Voting Rights Act that did that.
Right. I completely agree with you. So we have a processes, right? We have a process of Supreme Court rulings, and we have constitutional amendments, right, that have to be ratified by the state. Do you think this is still a valid process? Do you support that this is a valid process of our constitutional republic?
Thank you so much for that question. That is the process of this republic, and it has been important that this Supreme Court and this Congress has stepped in when there have been states that have wanted to enforce human enslavement, kidnap, and trafficking of African Americans, and it has been this Congress that has played a pivotal role.
No doubt, but it has to go through the constitutional amendment. Do you think Congress should be exercising pressure by packing the court and putting pressure on the judges and activists on the court? Or you think it's important to have a strength of that institution to hold us as a constitutional republic? What do you believe that political pressure on the court is a good idea, regardless what it is, because it can come from both sides?
Well, it's a very important question that you ask about these institutions being able to operate independently. And that is critically important, such as this hearing today, which is directly connected to urgent healthcare matters in the United States. And so I'm glad that you and your colleagues are hosting this particular hearing.
Thank you. My time was expired, but I appreciate that. My time was expired, but I appreciate. But I hope we can have a constructive conversations because we have a separation of power, and it's important for us to hold our institutions strong and not politicize the courts. I yield back.
Gentlelady